By November, the building will have reverted to its original purpose as the Supreme Court of Hong Kong.
There's one place I've never been, is the cellar. And I was told in Xi Jiang's time, there were a lot of very nice red wine there.
Is the camaraderie we had together. And I think some of that is still here, even though they may be throwing things at each other, but at least they talk to each other.
This antechamber is one of the features. The public cannot see what's inside the antechamber. Although when they open and close the door, you can have a peep. But then they argue here and they drink here, their buddies here, whereas outside the enemies, where it's fun.
The conversion work to turn the former courthouse into the home of the Legislative Council was completed in 1985. Among the significant features of the building were the Royal Coat of Arms, the Statue of Justice, and the dome surmounted by a granite lantern with a Tudor crown. The initial construction of the building, which began in 1900, didn't go so smoothly. Due to a shortage of suitable granite and trained stonemasons, the building wasn't completed for 12 years. Under the Japanese occupation during the Second World War, the building became the headquarters of the Hong Kong Military Police. In 1978, construction work on the Mass Transit Railway led to cracks in the premises. The building had to close for reinstatement works. In 1984, its exterior was declared a monument, protected legally under the Antiquities and Monuments Ordinance.
We have an Ionic column here, which is a kind of copying the order in the Greek or Roman architecture at that time. So this we call a neoclassical building. And this is the little area that I like most. Okay. These are the Chinese brackets that holds up the roof. And as you see, the pattern is like these Chinese clouds that you have in Chinese furniture. The clouds represent the kind of pattern that we use a lot in our decoration, in Chinese decoration, to show peacefulness. This is a small basement that we talked about, that the Japanese occupation was using it as a torture area. And that's a very interesting feature. You see all the skylights there. That is actually the street. So on the street, you will see these glass blocks, but actually give light to the basement here. And actually, there's a vent. You can actually escape from here if necessary.
14 years before the handover, over 50 legislative councillors buried around 50 items of their choice in a time capsule beneath the Legislative Council car park. This week, the time capsule was unearthed, reawakening memories of pre-handover expectations and hopes.
當年呢，我哋點解要放個時間錦囊呢？因為當年嘅議員呢，對於個前途，有啲係有部分嘅同事係充滿希望，有啲係可能預測得到未來係會發生啲咩嘢，有啲呢就係對佢當時候嘅現況有一啲嘅不滿，又或者佢對當時嘅現況係好滿意，等等，佢將佢嘅心情都會將佢一啲物品呢就放落個時間囊裏頭。佢希望呢就係話10年之後，用時間去證明呢一啲嘢係咪或者佢哋嘅期望、佢哋嘅預測等等啦，係咪會實現嘅？咁啊，爭錢㗎嘛？好，勝草我聽咩先嚇？唔該，唔好意思，各位係我哋攞。摘開咗我呢邊有擺低先好多樹草啊，香㗎，香草嚟㗎嘛。
正所謂臭坑出臭草，由中國政府欽點嘅籌委，由籌委圈定係400人嘅推委，落去由呢一班嘅人去提名特首。咁樣對呢班嘅參選嘅候選人嘅政綱嚟講，又點樣可以係唔能夠跳出呢個嘅框框咧？中國政府所核定嘅框框咧？
但我再問多你一次，願唔願收回？
我唔會收回。
梁俊賢你可以離席，但係今天不許再回來。
Wong ruled that Leung's description of the chief executive's election process was an insult to members in the chamber. As a result, Leung made history of a kind by becoming the first legislator to be expelled from a council meeting.
原先我以為嗰棵臭草咧變成粉末嘅，咁但係點知唔係，成棵臭草仍然喺度存在，即係成支棒喺度嘅。咁我覺得好奇怪咯。咁但係不過咧就係即係比較感嗰樣嘢咧就係、其實好多嘢都變，但係有啲原則上嗰就係唔會變嘅。咁譬如我哋鬧呢個嘅，當年鬧呢個產出臭草嘅時候咧，到現在其實都適合嘅，因為而家仍然都係最多只不過由400人改為1200人，咁但係仍然都係小圈子選舉咯。
喺14年前咧，我擠咗呢個民主女神像入立法會嘅時間內，當時係預計10年後拎翻出嚟，當然係希望6·4可以平反，但係拎翻出嚟嘅日子咧，6·4仍然係未平反，呢個係非常之遺憾嘅事情。咁但係亦都因為咁樣咧，我哋將會係即係送去立法會嘅歷史博物館，或者到平反嘅一日，呢個民主女神像咧將會係立法會最重要嘅歷史文物。
The items from the time capsule will be displayed in the archive of the new LEGCO complex. The building at Jackson Road is ending its chapter of 26 years of service as the seat of Hong Kong's legislature, and is beginning a new chapter as the Court of Final Appeal will take over the site.
And that's all we have time for on The Pulse for this week and for this season. Like LEGCO, we're off for a summer break and we'll be back in October. Until then, if missing The Pulse becomes unbearable, you can always linger over old episodes on the RTHK website or download a podcast or two. And you can still talk to us on Facebook.